This is Rocket Brain Surgeon, and we're looking at the BDR as a tank and the general gameplay that it requires. The pros and cons of the tank: it has very good alpha, 240 is excellent for tier 5. The penetration at 135 on the base round is going to be very, very reliable. The downsides are it has very, very thin armor. The aim time is not great. The snapshot capability is so-so. The cupola, the little tumor on the top, is a common weakness, and this adds up to being very difficult to carry in some of your games. The mobility isn't amazing, but it's also not a severe detriment of the tank either. Basically, offensively the tank is very, very good, and defensively the tank is very, very bad. Overall, I think the tank nets out somewhere in the positive. I have a very good impression of it, and I think it's definitely underplayed. Here we're on Himmelsdorf, and you can see a BDR right in front of me. There's that cupola. It sticks out over everything. So when you're cresting hills, or even here, he's mostly hidden, but it's just that darn little tumor that sticks up. Right there, that excellent alpha is enough to kill a Hetzer from 170 hit points out. Awesome stuff. The BDR excels in peekaboo situations like this one, where you're jumping out from behind cover and exchanging fire. The KV-1 has an average damage of 160 if he's using the 85, and my average damage of 240. Since we have roughly the same amount of hit points, he's going to die before I am, all else equal. Due to the excellent alpha, both the players in front of me are one-shots, so I can trade hit points here and finish them both off without any threat of dying. I bounce a shot there, but he missed his shot, so I'm going to reload first and be able to finish him off for absolutely nothing. So as you've seen from the past 4 or 5 shots, sometimes the snapshot ability lands, and sometimes it's not so great. The high base penetration will allow some of those errant snapshots to land, but not all of them are going to. Here we're circling around the Stug 3, and the snapshot ability, it just puts one in the dirt. What the heck? Now you might be thinking there, well, don't rush the shot, dummy. And the reason why it's good to rush shots a fair amount of the time is because it prevents them from shooting opponents. For example, the Hetzer in front of me types "thank you" because the Stug 3 was armed with a derp gun. The Stug 3 could actually have one-shot my teammate, and so killing him before he gets a shot off is incredibly important. Rushing the shot is a high-risk, high-reward situation, and it's not always applicable. For example, here I rush the shot a little bit, but I don't get it off in time, so I have to burn a med kit. He deals significant damage to me and tracks me. So far we've seen a lot of positives of the BDR. In the peekaboom situations, the high alpha and good base penetration allowed me to square off against another BDR and a KV-1. We saw a couple downsides of the tank, how the commander's hatch or cupola stuck out for my enemy and was definitely a factor in him getting killed, and we also saw some of the snapshots derp into the ground. The game looks well in hand, but the problem is that I'm not exactly fast enough to push the game out of reach. What we're seeing here is I'm topping out at 29 or 30 kmh, and this is with a super FCM crew. And now we have one AFK, so the game is basically even. And here's where we're going to see a significant downside of the tank. Carrying late in the game on some maps is very difficult to do. That tumor on top of the tank is a massive weak point. The view range at 320 is very, very low, so you're going to have a lot of invisible enemies in front of you. And the armor is incredibly poor, so trading HP is pretty much your only option. I'm not a huge believer in armor. Personally, I think most armor is overrated, but I do enjoy turret armor so you can play in hull down situations more effectively, and I do prefer your frontal armor being at least having 1 or 2 strong points. If your tank even bounced one shot per round on average, that would mean that your hit points are effectively raised by about 25%, as the average alpha at tier 5 is about 110. There's an AT2 in front of me, and the problem is I am in one-shot range. There's also a T-34 that's sitting on the cap. If I was in a KV-1 here, I definitely could carry this game. Because of my angles, they wouldn't be able to penetrate me without the use of premium ammo for sure. And it's very possible even with premium ammo they wouldn't be able to. So here I'm trying to side scrape. I really don't have a lot of good ideas, but I'm trying to angle my armor in the hopes that I will be able to bounce at least one shot before I get one of them down. It ends up not working, but overall it was an okay attempt. All in all, I enjoy the tank and I hope you have good luck with it. Happy hunting.